Alright, this is pt02 again, and this is part 2 of the Master Grade Gundam Deathscythe Hell version EW review. And we're going to start off this part by taking a quick look at the inner frame. And as you can see, Deathscythe Hell has got pretty much a full inner frame. No inner frame parts for the wings. It does have joints in it, but they don't really connect together without the armor on, so no real inner frame. Unlike the Deathscythe EW, which had a kind of an inner frame for the backpack, but not on the Deathscythe Hell. Anyway, as you can see, I've painted the inner frame kind of a brownish gray color, and then painted the exposed joints like the knees and the elbows and the hands with a lighter gray. But when you get this thing out of the box, the entire thing is going to be molded in just a straight neutral, about 50% gray. You will have one yellow part up here for the head Vulcans. That's going to be molded in yellow. And then up here the cameras that's all one piece. That's going to be molded in clear. Obviously I've painted it clear orange and then painted the eyes green and black. So yeah, that's about it. If you've built or have any experience with the Deathscythe EW, this inner frame is almost exactly the same piece for piece. The only real difference is the forearms, where you've got this extra armor here, and the polycap is changed in the back to accommodate for the larger wings. And other than that, the inner frame is exactly the same as the normal Deathscythe EW. And now let's take a look at Deathscythe's one and only weapon, the beam scissors, as it's called on the box and in the manual. I prefer to just call it a Beamscythe because that doesn't sound quite as dumb. Anyway, you get the Beamscythe here, which is molded in 4 parts, I believe, and you get a clear green effect part for it. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of painting on it. And it fits into the end of the Beamscythe easily enough. And you've got a set of, well, actually you've got several sets of fingers, as you saw in part 1. And you've got one set of the fingers that has a small little peg down inside it. And you've got this groove that runs along the bottom of the Beamscythe. You can fit that peg into that groove, and the fingers will stay nice and secure. And you can simply switch out the fingers to have Deathscythe holding the Beamscythe like so. And in this configuration, I find that it's very, very secure. Now, I have painted my kit so it's a little bit tighter than it would be if it was just bare plastic. But even when I did this before painting with just a straight snap-together kit, it held up just fine. So no weight issues or gripping issues at all with the Beamscythe. And one other item that I guess you could count as an accessory is the action-based connector. And as you can see, Deathscythe will mount up on an action base pretty well. Now there's actually 2 connection points. You've got the standard connection point up under the crotch, but for this kit you also have a connection point up under the backpack, up under the wings in there. So you've got 2 different options for displaying Deathscythe on the action base. And one last thing I do want to go over is a couple of size comparisons. So anyway, here in the center we've got the Master Grade Deathscythe Hell, and to his left we've got the 1:100 scale High Grade Deathscythe Hell from 1997. And as you can see from a distance, they do look pretty similar, but when you get up close you can see several differences. First and foremost, the Master Grade has got an inner frame. Second, the wings on the Master Grade are made much better, I think. They have more articulation and more range of movement on the Master Grade. Plus, you've got these nice looking vents on the underside, and it just looks very sleek and clean. Whereas over here, you can see a lot of like the pegs and the stuff, and You can see polycaps with this joint right here, and it just doesn't look nearly as refined as it does on the Master Grade. And of course the Master Grade is going to have fewer panel lines and is just going to have a more sleek, clean look overall compared to the High Grade. And also I did want to compare the Master Grade Deathscythe EW to the Deathscythe Hell EW. So as you can see, the body type is quite similar. The color change, obviously, and then clearly the backpacks are much different, seeing as how you've got a normal backpack here and these giant Batman wings on Deathscythe Hell. But other than that and the colors, they're more or less the same kit. So for my final thoughts on this kit, I will definitely give this kit an A. Maybe not an A+, but it definitely gets an A in my book. If you're a fan of the Deathscythe, or if you're a fan of Gundam Wing, or if you're just a fan of unique, kind of bizarre mobile suit designs, I think this would definitely be a good purchase to add to your, Gunpla list. The inner frame is excellent, just like with most of the kits that use the XXSG frame. The wings are very well engineered, I think. They have lots of movement and they look really, really nice, very sleek and clean. And the overall kit looks very nice as well. The proportions are nice. All of the armor is molded in the correct colors. The only real downside is that you only get the one weapon, the Beamscythe. I mean, there isn't really anything you can do about it because that's the only weapon he ever used in the show. So that's one of the disadvantages to this kit. But honestly, that's about the only thing I can think of. A lot of people complain, like on Deathscythe EW, that the shoulder joints were weak and he had problems holding Beamscythe. But I think Bandai did a little bit better job on the Deathscythe Hell because I haven't heard anybody complain about those problems on this kit. So it looks like that Bandai has really done a outstanding job with this Master Grade, and I'll definitely be looking forward to more Master Grades in the future that use the XXSG frame. So I guess that about does it for this review, and I will see you guys next time.